Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Comedy this hour, Harold Peary, starring as the Great Gildersleeve, as we go back to a very early show, November 22nd, 1942, a Thanksgiving show, all about Thanksgiving and the B Ration Book.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Kraft Cheese Company, who also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night, present each week at this time Harold Peary as the Great Gildersleeve, written by John Whedon. Well, let's get on to the Great Gildersleeve, who's been putting in a busy Saturday morning down at the Water Department trying to clear his desk of all the odds and ends that have piled up there. As we join him now, we find him almost down to the blotter and feeling pretty good about it.
Action, yes, action. That's the keynote today, Miss Fitch.
And you have accomplished a great deal this morning, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, sir. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today.
I try not to.
Procrastination is the thief of time.
There's a letter here.
Time and tide wait for no man.
This woman wrote in 2 weeks ago.
For want of a nail, the shoe was lost, Miss Fitch. Action, that's the thing, action.
Mr. Gildersleeve, are you going to answer this woman's letter?
What does she want?
Action.
Sure. Well, let's see the letter.
She says she wrote in 2 weeks ago and never got an answer.
Oh, yes, I remember this. Take an answer.
Very well.
Dear Madam, in reply to your recent letter regarding an eel in your bathtub, we wish to thank you for calling this to our attention. After a thorough investigation of the matter, we wish to report that it would have been impossible for the said eel to have gained access to your tub through the faucet, as all our water is carefully filtered, and furthermore, standard plumbing fixtures are too small to accommodate an eel of the dimensions you describe. We can only suggest that the creature either crawled up the drain, in which event your attorney should get in touch with the Department of Public Works, not us, or possibly it was placed in your tub by an enemy. While it's out of our department, we'd suggest that a stopper kept in the tub at all times should prove an effective precaution against eels in the future. Failing which, we'd advise a closer check on your friends. Very truly yours, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, Water Commissioner. You got that?
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve.
That ought to hold her. What's next?
Well, I don't know whether you want to do anything about this.
Let's have it. Action, Miss Fitch. Let's clear the decks here.
Very well.
This is no time for bottlenecks.
No.
You'll notice that in every photograph of Donald Nelson, there's not a single paper on Donald Nelson's desk. That's the only way to be an executive. Do it now. Strike while the iron is hot. Come. What have you got there?
A 6-month reminder from your dentist.
Well, suppose you put that in the deferred file.
That's where it came from.
You're a hard woman, Miss Fitch. All right, call up the dentist and make an appointment for Monday.
Good.
For Leroy. Come on, let's get on here. Time's a-wasting. Have you got the application for my B gas ration?
Yes, it's right here.
Oh, I must remember to get that in this afternoon.
It's all filled out. All you have to do is sign it.
I better check it over. Let's see here. It says, occupational use of the vehicle. If vehicle is used for driving between home and fixed place of work, in the principal occupation as stated in items 4 and 6 above, answer all questions in Part A below. If vehicle is used in the performance of the principal occupation stated in items 4 and 6 above... Oh, brother, I'll take your word for it, Miss Fitch.
You also have to get the signatures of any person sharing the ride with you.
Oh, well, Judge Hooker's my share, the writer, but he isn't speaking to me. He can darn well sign, though.
I understand very few people are going to get the B rations.
Oh, I'll get one all right. After all, I'm a city official. I have to do a lot of official driving. I'm entitled to one if anybody is.
Yes, but have you heard who's head of the ration board now?
It doesn't make any difference. Who?
Judge Hooker.
Judge Hooker. Oh, my goodness. Hooker will find some technicality. He'll block it if he has to stage a filibuster. Maybe I better invite the old goat to Thanksgiving dinner after all.
That might soften him up a little.
Certainly. He couldn't accept a man's hospitality and then trick him out of his B card, could he?
I don't recall that the application form covers that.
No, I didn't think so. Quiet. Here comes the old sourball now. Well, hello there, Judge.
And does the bus leave, Gildersleeve?
The bus leaves whenever you're ready, Judgy.
I'm ready now.
Be right with you. Can't keep a customer waiting, can we, Miss Fitch? I'll get my hat and coat.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're not forgetting...
Oh, yes. Thank you. While you're waiting, Judge, Miss Fitch has an application blank there that requires your signature. A mere formality, you know.
What's this?
Just to show that I'm sharing my car with you.
Oh, so you're applying for a B Ration Book, huh?
Aren't we all? Give the judge a pen, Miss Fitch. Here. Oh, use mine. It's a self-filler. I think you'll like it. There, that's it.
There you are.
Thank you, Judge. Well, see you Monday, Miss Fitch. Oh, by the way, Horace, I meant to ask you before. I hope you'll give us the pleasure of dining with us as usual on Thursday.
I thought you'd forgotten all about Thanksgiving.
Not at all. Thanksgiving wouldn't be Thanksgiving without you, Horace. You know that.
Leroy, now while I fit this. I feel like a sissy in this fool outfit. This is the kind of clothes the Pilgrims wore. And they were no sissies. Yeah, but they didn't have to wear them in front of a whole auditorium full of people. Oh, stand still, will you, before I jab you with this pin. Courtship of Miles Standish. Why don't you speak for yourself, John? Yeah. Oh! I told you you'd get stuck. No, I think you're going to look real cute when I get this down. That's just what I'm afraid of. That's what the whole school is going to think. Leroy, will you stand still? It wouldn't have been so bad if I was Miles Standish. I'd get to wear a helmet. But John Alden, that panty waist. I'm lucky the teacher didn't make me play Priscilla. I don't see why you feel that way. John Alden is the hero. Remember, it's John Alden who gets the girl. Yeah, Ethel Hammerschlag, he can have her. Hello, Uncle Mort.
Well, hello, Marjorie. And Leroy.
Hello.
Well, look at our little pilgrim.
Hey, Marge, can't I take this off now? No, wait till I get it pinned.
You know your lines yet, young man?
Some of them.
Well, it's about time. You've been rehearsing that part for a month.
I've been trying to get out of it for a month.
That's no attitude to take. The Courtship of Miles Standish is great literature. I studied it in school myself. I remember it to this very day. This is the forest primeval, the murmuring pines and the hills.
That's Evangeline, Uncle Mort.
Well, that's good, too. Let's hear you recite that speech you were having trouble with last night, Leroy.
No, I don't want it.
Come on now. I want to see if you've learned it.
Oh, some other time, Unc.
No, right now. I'd like to hear it. We both would. Wouldn't we, Marjorie?
We'd love to. No, I won't do it. Not if she's going to listen.
Young man, you'll recite that speech or you'll go right upstairs to your room.
Okay.
We're waiting.
Let's see. Prithee, Mistress Priscilla, turn not a deaf ear to the suit of one who, though absent
Yet loves thee with a noble and undying passion. Go back and try it again.
Do I have to?
Yes. If you don't keep at it, you'll never learn the part.
If I don't learn the part, maybe we won't have to do it.
You'll do it or I'll know the reason why. Come on now, once more.
Prithee, Mistress Priscilla. I can't say it.
You're not trying. Prithee, Mistress Priscilla. Now you got me doing it. Oh, Bertie, I want to talk to you. Leroy, you go up to your room and practice.
Darn old Miles Standish anyway.
Quiet, you. Bertie, I've invited Judge Hooker to Thanksgiving dinner. So that'll mean one more.
That'll mean 5 more.
What?
Yes, I hope you don't mind, Uncle Mort. I invited 4 of the boys from Camp Fuller.
Oh, well, fine. The more the merrier. Thanksgiving isn't Thanksgiving unless there are plenty around to enjoy the turkey.
Speaking of turkey, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie?
You wouldn't want to buy a chance on one, would you? I don't suppose.
What do you mean, Bertie?
Well, the ladies at my church is holding a turkey raffle.
Again? All right, I'll buy a chance. How much are they?
25 cents, stack for one.
One chance. There you are. There's a quarter.
Thank you. Most everybody around here has bought one from me. All the neighbors.
Well, you're doing fine.
Of course. If you used to buy 2 chances, it stands to reason you have twice as good a chance as they have.
Yeah. No getting around that, Bertie. All right, I'll take 2.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're making no mistake. Turkey's awful expensive this year.
Yes, I know, Bertie.
48 cents a pound at day one grocery.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. So if you used to buy 3 changes, you'd still be ahead.
Sold, Bertie. Make it 3.
Yes, sir. Let's see now. How many is it going to be for dinner?
Well, there's Marjorie and Leroy and Judge Hooker and Mrs. Ransom and the 4 soldiers. And you, Bertie, that makes 9.
And you, that makes 12.
Oh, yes, me.
That's going to take a big turkey.
Well, maybe we should order one right away and ask him to hold it for us.
Well, let's wait and see how this raffle comes out first, Marjorie. We don't want to be stuck with 2 turkeys, you know.
Of course, they've sold quite a lot of chances on it, and you've only got 3.
Bertie, if you can guarantee I'll get the turkey, I'll take 5 chances.
Well, I can't promise nothing, but my cousin's doing the drawing.
I'll take 5.
Well, that'll be $1.25.
That's right. Well, here's another $1.
That's quite a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
$1.25 will buy a lot of things.
Don't I know it?
If you wouldn't like to take a couple more chances just to protect your investment.
You get out of here, Bertie, before you ruin me. I got to get down to the ration board. Look at that crowd. Pardon me, could somebody tell me whether this is where you get B Ration Books?
No, this is where you don't get them.
Yeah, wise guy. Madam, would you mind?
You can't shove in here.
I'm not trying to shove in.
End of the line.
End of the line. I've been waiting here since 2 o'clock, and you come trying to shove in.
Yeah.
Madam, I was merely trying to ask a civil question.
End of the line, Bud.
Just a minute. Who do you think you're pushing?
Well, who do you think you're pushing?
Well, who do you think you're pushing? By George, if you weren't wearing glasses...
Well, I'll take them off. There.
You look worse. Put them back on.
What's the fuss here? What's the fuss?
He tried to shove in ahead of me.
I did not.
He did, too, and he squeezed my hand.
Oh! Now, look here, my good woman.
We'll have to ask for order here, my friend. Why don't you just take your place in the line?
I'm trying to find out whether this is the right line. I've come for my B Ration Book.
Oh, you've come for it, huh?
Yes. I have my application right here.
You and 100 million others.
What? Young man, evidently you don't know who I am. I happen to be Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, and I have to do a lot of driving.
Where to?
Well, out to the reservoir.
To the reservoir? What for?
See if there's anything in it.
Yeah? Listen, brother, if we gave a ration book to everybody who wants to drive out to the reservoir for a little necking in the moonlight...
I don't do any necking in the moonlight.
Oh, you like it in the dark?
Yeah, no! And I didn't come here to be insulted by underlings.
End of the line, Bud.
Yes, end of the line.
Oh, shut up! Oh, Judge, I want you to tell this young whippersnapper here where he gets off.
Well, now, Gildy.
He has the nerve to tell me I'm not entitled to a B Ration Book.
Well, he may be right, Gildy. You're only sharing the ride with one person.
You can't throw those technicalities at me, Hooker. You're the share of my rider. You signed this application yourself.
I know that, Gildy. As a share of the rider, I'd be delighted to see you get your ration book. But as a ration official, I couldn't possibly pass this application. My conscience wouldn't allow it.
All right, Judge. As a ration official, you needn't bother to come to Thanksgiving dinner. And as a share of the rider, from now on, you can walk.
End of the line.
Oh, you can have your old line.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds.
November 22nd, 1942, a totally different time. Harold Peary, The Great Gildersleeve, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, let's return to Summerfield and see what's going on. Thanksgiving with The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Peary, November 22nd, 1942.
Back to Summerfield to the Great Gildersleeve. Apparently, he'll get no more gas than the rest of us, but what about turkey? It's Tuesday afternoon now, only 2 days before Thanksgiving. And we find our hero checking last-minute details with Marjorie.
What about those 4 soldiers, my dear? Are you sure they're coming?
Oh, yes. I had a note this morning from their commanding officer. They'll arrive at 12 o'clock sharp in a jeep.
A jeep? Mm-hmm. Oh, brother, what an appetite they'll have. I'll have to run around the house a couple of times to get myself up to concert pitch. Can't let the boys show me up at my own table.
I don't think you need to worry about that, Uncle Mort.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess we're all set. Soldiers accepted. Hooker canceled. Mrs. Ransom's coming, isn't she?
Well, you invited her, didn't you?
No, I thought you'd take care of that. You're the lady of the house.
Oh, but I thought you'd want to. Oh, dear, and I went over there this morning to borrow a roasting pan for the turkey and never said a word about it. What must she think?
Oh, this is terrible. This is awful. I'll run over there right now. Serves right. She's made other plans. A fine thing. Borrow a woman's roaster and then not invite her to dinner. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Leela, I've come to explain.
I don't know what there is to explain, I'm sure.
May I come in?
Well, I'm rather busy.
Just for a moment.
Well?
Leela, of course you're coming to Thanksgiving dinner Thursday.
Well, I'm hardly in the habit of going to places to which I've not been invited, Mr. Gildersleeve.
But you are invited. You've been invited all along. There was a mix-up, that's all. I thought Marjorie had asked you, and Marjorie thought I had.
How do I know? How do I know you're not just inviting me for my roasting pan?
Leela, when I thought of inviting you, nothing was further from my mind than a roasting pan.
Oh, you say those things, but you don't mean them.
It's the truth. You were the first one on my list, Leela.
Was I, Throckmorton? Sure enough.
Yeah, sure enough.
Oh, but I'm afraid I couldn't accept at this late day. You see, I've had all these other invitations.
Oh.
If I turn them down now, I know they'd be heartbroken, much as I'd like to have dinner with you.
We're having a 20-pound turkey.
Well, I love turkey, but I'm afraid I can't.
I'll save you the white meat.
No, don't tempt me now.
I'll save you the wishbone. We can make a wish on it.
What would you wish, Throckmorton?
I'm not supposed to tell you.
Well, I don't know that I could trust you with a wishbone. And anyway, I've promised these other people.
But you've got to come, Leela. Marjorie and Leroy will be terribly disappointed if you don't. So will I. So will Bertie. So will the Army.
The Army?
Yes, we're having 4 young lieutenants to dinner, too.
Throckmorton, why in the world didn't you say so?
You mean you'll come?
Will I?
You're too good to me, Leela.
What did she say, Uncle Mort?
She's coming with bells on.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Huh?
Uncle Mort, can I borrow your shotgun?
No, Leroy, certainly not. Why?
I'm supposed to bring a gun to school tomorrow.
What kind of a school are they running? A reform school?
No, Miles Standish has got to have a blunderbuss.
A blunderbuss.
Here's your pilgrim suit, Leroy. I pressed the collar, so don't mess it up.
Oh, put it on, Leroy, and show Uncle Mort how nice it looks, not finished.
Oh, no. Go ahead. You look real nice in it.
I look like a sissy in it. You look better than you do in that Mickey Mouse sweatshirt you wear all the time.
Yeah, and cleaner, too. Put on the pilgrim suit, Leroy.
Oh,
Your sister worked hard on it. It won't do you any harm to put it on once. Go ahead.
Okay. I'd like to meet that guy Longfellow.
Yeah. Well, Bertie, do you think we're going to have enough turkey for all these people Thursday?
I don't know, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Let's see now. We've got 4 soldiers, and the 4 of us here, and Mrs. Ransom.
What about Judge Hooker?
Judge Hooker is an ungrateful old goat. Never mention his name in this house.
Excuse me. I didn't know it was like that again.
There'll be 8 of us at dinner. And you know the way soldiers eat. You think we ought to figure on 2 turkeys?
I don't know, Mr. Gildersleeve. I don't know what we ought to do.
What's the matter, Bertie? You seem to be sort of dragging today.
I don't know. I don't guess I feel so good.
Out a little late last night?
No, sir, no later than usual. I just got a feeling, that's all.
What kind of a feeling?
Like things wasn't going to work out somehow.
Oh, well, don't let it get you down. By the way, when are they going to raffle off that turkey I bought all those chances on?
Yes, we can't wait much longer to find out about that. Thanksgiving's only 2 days off.
I was thinking, Mr. Gildersleeve, how would it be if we had a nice ham instead of a turkey?
Bertie, are you hiding something from us?
No, sir, I ain't hiding nothing. Except they had that raffle last night.
Oh.
You came close, Mr. Gildersleeve. You came mighty close. The winning number was 61, and you had 62.
But it still leaves us without a turkey.
Well, sort of.
Oh, well, if you gamble, you have to expect those things.
We better order a turkey right away, though.
Yes, we can't invite all those soldiers to come 20 miles for Thanksgiving dinner and have no Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, I'll go call up the market and reserve one.
That's just the trouble.
What do you mean?
I called up the market, and all the turkeys is reserved.
You mean they won't sell us one?
Butcher says there ain't a turkey left in Summerfield. I don't know what's the matter. Last week, no pot roast. This week, no turkey.
We've got to have a turkey. We've invited all these soldiers. We've invited Mrs. Ransom. We've got to find one.
But where?
Don't ask me.
All right, Unc. How do you like it?
Like what?
The pilgrim suit.
Oh, forget the pilgrim suit. We just lost our turkey.
No turkey? No turkey. How do you like that? Well, it looks like we'll all wind up eating turkey sandwiches at the drugstore.
Yeah.
Some Thanksgiving.
The drugstore. Maybe Peavy's got a turkey. Hold everything, kids. I'll be right back. I'm going to the drugstore.
Let's see if Peavy rides to the rescue. November 22nd, 1942, a wartime edition of The Great Gildersleeve here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. A conclusion next. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station. Thanksgiving and feeding soldiers on a B Ration Book. No turkeys available. What's Gildersleeve to do? November 22nd, 1942.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy, you've got to help me out.
Well, I'm always glad to do customer service.
Good. Have you got a turkey?
What was that again?
Have you got a turkey?
A turkey? Well, now, I've had people come in here and ask for some strange things, but this is the first time I've ever had a request for a turkey.
But never mind that. Have you got one?
No, Mr. Gildersleeve. Turkeys are one thing that I don't carry. I'm sorry. Have you tried the meat market?
Of course I've tried the meat market. Why do you think I came in here?
Yeah, I wondered.
Now, just a minute, Peavy. You serve turkey sandwiches at your soda fountain, don't you?
Yes, we do serve a turkey sandwich.
You can't make a turkey sandwich without a turkey, can you?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
In other words, Peavy, your turkey sandwich is not a turkey sandwich.
Well, turkey sandwich has become a sort of a trade expression, although we serve it with genuine cranberry jelly on the side.
But suppose you don't care for cranberry jelly.
Well, then you just ask for the regular chicken sandwich.
Yes, sir. Peavy, I'm surprised at you. I don't know how you can sleep nights.
Well, I did used to have a little trouble, but I just take a cup of hot cocoa before going to bed now, and I find that sets me right. So does Mrs. Peavy.
Well, this isn't finding a turkey. I got to get going. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Same to you. Don't drink too much cocoa, and don't let Mrs. Peavy.
Any luck, Uncle Mort?
Not a bit, my dear. I've been everywhere. It's no use. The Army's picked the place clean. There's not a single turkey left.
Maybe I should warn those boys at camp. They'll do better if they stay there.
Yes. Wait. There's just one chance left.
What's that?
If we can find out who won the turkey in Bertie's raffle, we might be able to buy it from him.
Bertie! Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Would you mind coming in here?
Yes, sir?
Bertie, do you know who won that turkey in your raffle?
No, sir.
Do you think you could find out?
Well, sir, I might be able to. Then again, I might not.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if I was to find out who won, you might not like it.
Come clean, Bertie. What bush are you beating about now? Do you know who won the turkey?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you say so? Who is it?
Well, you said never to mention Judge Hooker's name.
Oh!
I told you you wasn't going to like it.
Well, there goes our only chance.
Uncle Moore, don't you think Judge Hooker would be willing to let you have it?
After what I told him down at the ration board? No, my dear, I really gave him a piece of my mind there.
What if you took it all back and invited him to dinner again?
When he's got the turkey, he'd just laugh at me. Wait a minute. Bertie!
Yes?
Does Judge Hooker know yet that he's won the turkey?
No, sir. I'm supposed to deliver it to him this evening.
Excuse me, folks. I got to see a judge about a bird. Horace, I've come to ask your forgiveness.
You've come to the wrong place, Gildersleeve.
That's a cruel attitude, Judge, but I don't blame you for taking it.
You behaved like a boor, Gildersleeve.
You're right, a big boor. In front of a whole lot of people, too.
Yeah.
I could kick myself when I think of it.
Well, we all fly off the handle sometimes.
There was no excuse for it, doing a thing like that to my old friend.
Well, guilty of...
Horace, you may think me a sentimental old fool, but we've been pals for a good many years now, haven't we? Off and on.
Yes, Gildy, we have. Off and on.
And we've always had Thanksgiving dinner together, haven't we?
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Well, I want you to have it with us again this year.
You really mean that?
Horace, I've said it before, and I mean it now more than ever. If you don't come to Thanksgiving dinner, it just won't be Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, then, I'll certainly be delighted to come.
Good. Don't forget now.
I won't.
We'll be counting on you.
I'll be there. What time would you like to have me come?
Oh, come early, Judge. Come about 9 o'clock in the morning.
9 o'clock?
Yeah. And when you come, would you mind bringing that turkey you won in the raffle, Judge?
Gildy, I've got to be going. But it's been a mighty pleasant day.
Oh, stick around, Judge. The evening's young yet.
No, I've got to get an early start in the morning. But I don't know when I've had a finer Thanksgiving.
Well, it was your turkey, Judge.
Yeah, I share my turkey, you share your car. That's the spirit today.
Yeah, and a good spirit, too. It brings people together, Judge.
Yes, it does, Gildy. I'm sorry we had that misunderstanding down at the ration board. As a matter of fact, you're probably entitled to a B ration. You use your car for official business.
Well, I don't want a B book.
What?
No, I've been thinking about it, Horace. It seems to me the spirit of rationing is to get along with as little as you can, instead of grabbing all you can get.
You're absolutely right, Gildy. And I'm glad to hear you say it. You're a credit to the community.
Well, thank you, Horace. And you may rest assured that even though I've only a humble A ration, my car will still be at your service at all times.
You mean that, Gildy?
I do indeed.
That's fine. I've got to meet a train at Moore's Junction at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Good night, Gildy.
Good night, everybody.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by Billy Mills. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to tune in again next week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
November 22nd, 1942, The Great Gildersleeve on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the soap opera Claudia. This episode goes back to November 22nd, 1948. Moo.
And now, Claudia.
Oh, it certainly is a lot colder outside than it is in the barn.
Pull up your coat collar.
It's up. I'm warm enough.
Yeah, you sound it.
Golly, just think only 3 more days to Thanksgiving. Well, it should be cold. Say, David, are you sure Her Majesty the cow will be warm enough?
You just said it was warmer in the barn.
It was, and so sweet. I love the smell of a barn.
I think maybe that's why I married you.
Why?
I must have known you'd like the smell of the barn.
You'd divorce me if I didn't.
On the spot. Come on, let's get back to the house.
Oh, what's the hurry? It's a beautiful night. It's only about 9 o'clock. We have nothing else to do until we go to bed.
Suppose not.
She seems very contented, doesn't she?
She could be a lot of people. Mama, Bertha.
There could only be one she, Her Majesty the cow. She fits into our barn as if she'd always been there.
Hey, look. Mama must have started the fire in the fireplace.
Oh, yeah.
See the smoke coming out of the chimney?
Oh, I love it. Look at the windows all cloudy with the warmth of the house. David, it's a kingdom, and it's all ours.
Yes, it's a kingdom with a mortgage.
Oh, what's a mortgage between friends? You know, Thanksgiving seems like a holiday just for us this year. And Christmas. Do you realize that Christmas is next?
I realize.
Gosh.
I realize also that you're nothing but a baby yourself.
You like me?
Oh, you're not bad. Not bad at all.
Oh, David.
What?
Nothing, except standing here between the barn and the house, and smoke coming out of the chimney, smell of hay. I could just bust.
Now, why on earth would you want to do that?
Because I feel I have to do something.
Oh, there's something you can do.
What, darling?
Come on in the house before your brain freezes.
Oh, you. Whew. Feels good to be in. Mama!
Claudia?
What?
I just wanted to know if you're here.
Where else would I be? How's everything up at the barn?
Just perfect.
Here, give me your coat. I'll hang it up for you. This one.
Thanks. Big of you. Ooh, my hands are cold.
Rub them.
Can't. They're too cold. Let's see. Stiff. All around my mouth, too.
The cold doesn't seem to affect your tongue.
How your ears are getting pink.
Will you please leave my ears alone?
Oh, darling, you have such nice ears. You know, lots of men don't have nice ears. I wouldn't have married a man without nice ears.
Well, at least mine seem to be good and strong, which is the most important factor in this marriage.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Just see that you don't talk them off.
Well, if it isn't me own mother a-settin' by the fire. Oh, what a pretty picture. No home should be without such a picture. Or such a mother.
You smell of the barn.
Like it?
I like it.
Well, what a pretty picture, Mrs. Brown. Sitting by the fire, knitting.
Exactly what I just said.
You're pulling my leg, David.
Oh, Mama, it's such a beautiful night. Her Majesty the Cow sends you her regards.
I hope you conveyed her mine.
We did, of course. Say, David, what are you going to do now?
I am going to observe a moment of silence in honor of David Norton.
Oh, dear.
I'm going to light my pipe and then settle down for a nice evening by the fire.
Oh, you know, this should be the whole world. Just this. Come here, Shakespeare. Come on. I'll scratch your ears for you.
Your daughter, Mrs. Brown, has a thing about ears.
Come here, you disobedient cat.
He's asleep.
His motor's going.
She means he's purring. Whimsy.
Here, listen. He's happy, too. Oh, golly, I'm getting sleepy already.
Don't do that.
It's coming in from the cold.
I can just curl up with Shakespeare by the fire and sleep and sleep and sleep.
Well, go right ahead, darling. But try not to talk in your sleep.
I never talk in my sleep.
No? How do you know?
Very funny. Let me see. How many days? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 more days. 3 more days. Do you realize that?
Yes, it's already Thanksgiving.
Gosh. You know, it's a nice sort of holiday. Not too much and still enough to be one.
Do you know what she's talking about, David?
I have no idea what she's talking about. So long as she's enjoying herself, well, let her go ahead.
You know perfectly well what I'm talking about. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is Thanksgiving.
I need a haircut.
Listen, Shakespeare, I'm going to let you eat turkey on Thanksgiving, too.
I don't trust these barbers up here, though.
And, Shakespeare, I'm going to give you some white meat, because Thanksgiving only comes once a year.
For cats.
For cats. But for people, if they're lucky and they have a kingdom, it comes every day.
Maybe I could cut it myself.
Watch yourself,
His
David.
hair, Mama. He's been having a running conversation with himself about his hair. Say, Mama, we better make out a menu for Thursday.
We're not going to have a big business, are we?
No, just us. Mama, you, Fritz, Bertha, I, and the Say, that is a big business, isn't it? You know, it's Bobby's first Thanksgiving. And we're just going to be family.
We'll put up a sign. Nobody else allowed.
Nobody else wanted. For once, we're going to be very selfish, all right?
All right.
All right.
Not one pang of conscience either.
Well, why should we have any conscience about it? It isn't wrong to want Thanksgiving by ourselves.
No, it certainly isn't.
Just think, David, Thanksgiving on our own farm, in our own home. What do we eat?
Didn't you say turkey?
Sweet potatoes with marshmallow on top.
You mean marshmallow on top with a little sweet potato underneath?
Ugh.
And chestnuts. We ought to have some chestnuts someplace. And nuts on the table, Mama. Apples and wine.
And a green vegetable.
Green vegetable? Do we have to have green vegetable on Thanksgiving?
No green vegetable.
No.
We have to have it every other day of the year.
You're absolutely right, David. No green vegetable wanted.
We won't need a very large turkey.
No, just about 8 or 9 pounds, I guess. I'll talk to the butcher about it tomorrow, Mama. Or listen, maybe I ought to get a bigger turkey and we can have it cold.
You'll have a small turkey, and then you won't have to eat turkey for 2 weeks afterwards.
Turkey croquettes, turkey a la king, turkey hash, turkey cold, turkey hot, turkey sandwiches, turkey. I love turkey till January. Then I love ham. Well, let's see. I guess that's all for the menu,
I don't think we want anything else.
I don't want anything or anybody. I feel like a caterpillar in a cocoon. The fuzzy kind.
Very fuzzy. Boy, listen to that fire.
Lovely, isn't it? I was thinking it'd be sort of lonesome up at the barn for the cow.
In a few weeks, she'll have company.
Well, at least he has that to think about. David, look. You can hardly see outside. The windows are so clouded up. Winter's certainly going to be nice here. Oh, no.
You want to get it?
Telephone, what a bore. Oh, yeah, I'll get it. Hello.
Hello.
Why, Roger, hello.
How are you, Claudia, my dear?
Couldn't be better. David, it's Roger.
Roger, what's up?
Nothing. He just wants to talk to me. Don't you, Roger?
Don't I what?
Want to talk to me.
Well, of course I want to talk to you. Who else is there to talk to?
Oh, David, Mama, any number of people.
Not as far as I'm concerned. Just you.
Thank you.
Well, what's been happening on the farm?
Nothing. Everything. We have a roaring fire going. It's freezing cold outside. How is it in New York?
Freezing cold outside, dull and tedious inside.
Oh, too bad. Your wife home?
My wife?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, she's visiting her sister in Chicago.
Well, is Jeffrey coming home for Thanksgiving?
No, he's going to meet his mother in Chicago.
Oh. Well, that'll be nice. Do you like Chicago?
Yes. Yes, I suppose I do.
Well?
Well, how's the cow?
Oh, she's fine, just standing around waiting for the blessed event. So are the rest of us.
I hope you'll invite me for the occasion.
We wouldn't think of having an occasion without inviting you, Roger. Would we, David?
Wouldn't we what?
Haven't you been listening?
I have not.
Well, how do you like that, Roger? David hasn't even been listening to our conversation.
Good. I like talking in private with my partner's wife.
Really, David, hearing one end of the conversation's most unsatisfactory.
How's the baby, Claudia?
Oh, Bobby's fine. Perfect. We thought he was teething, but he wasn't. Just a false alarm.
Well, he'll tease soon enough. Don't get impatient.
Oh, I'm not. David, I don't know why he called. It's the most peculiar conversation.
Why don't you ask him?
You mean bluntly?
Yes, bluntly.
What was that, Claudia?
Oh, nothing, Roger. David was talking, and I was...
I hope we're going to have good weather all week.
Yes, so do I. Thanksgiving week is so much easier when the weather's good.
Easier for what?
Hush up, Mama. Stop eavesdropping.
It should be just beautiful up at the farm, now in the crisp weather.
And the evenings, they're almost the best of all.
Take a bow, David.
You're quite a little farmer, aren't you?
Yeah? There are 11 of us, Roger, counting the animals and Fritz and Bertha.
Good Lord. You sound like Noah's Ark. You having a big celebration on Thursday?
Well, turkey, and...
I'm not going to Chicago, I decided. Couldn't face the trip.
Oh?
No. Flying's treacherous in this weather, and I loathe the train. It drains me completely.
Well, then you'll be in New York?
Well, I thought, since I had all day, I might drive up and wish a happy Thanksgiving to your son and cow.
Oh, well, Oh. Well, could you, Roger? Could you really make it on Thursday?
I certainly could.
What?
Claudia, I thought we just decided.
Well, Roger, we didn't dare ask you because of the Chicago business. I took it for granted that you'd... well, if you're going to be in New York, why, that's marvelous, because then you can be in Eastbrook with us.
I'd love that. I'd love that more than anything else I could think of. As a matter of fact, I was sitting here in New York, and, well, I just took my courage in both hands and called you up and invited myself. I hope you don't mind.
Mind, Roger. Your invitation is accepted with the greatest of pleasure. It's so nice to know that somebody considers himself enough of a friend that he doesn't have to stand on ceremony. When he wants to see us, he just picks up the phone and calls me up.
That's the way I feel, and I'm grateful you don't mind. Claudia, you'd tell me if I were interrupting something or interfering, wouldn't you?
You know I would, Roger. See you Thursday. Goodbye, Roger.
My regards to your mother, and not a greeting to that husband of yours. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well?
Well, Roger's coming Thursday. Isn't that wonderful? I couldn't help it. He literally invited himself, and when he did, I realized that I'd like to have him very much. Well, somehow it just didn't seem fair to have all this and keep it to ourselves. David, say something. Don't just sit there looking accusing.
Well, you little... Do you think you have to make apologies to us?
Well, I didn't think I did, but you had that funny look in your eye.
You're a nice girl, darling.
Thanks. It'll be a nice Thanksgiving. It'll be even nicer.
Much nicer.
When a shopping spree turns into a shopping struggle, head right for a Coca-Cola cooler and the pause that refreshes. It's surprising how different things look when you shop refreshed. Fortunately, Coke is around the corner from anywhere now, so its delicious ice-cold refreshment is always handy. Hello?
Mr. King, is that you?
Oh, yes, Mr. Killian.
Just called to ask you if you'll be around Thanksgiving Day.
Yes, I'll be here.
Fine. Say, you don't think I'm imposing on Claudia and David, am I?
Oh, don't worry about it. They're glad to have you.
Well, I'm glad to come. Anybody else coming?
Claudia and David aren't expecting to ask anybody else, but you never know from today to tomorrow.
How right you are. Well, see you Thanksgiving, Mr. King.
Goodbye, Mr. Killian. Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir.
November 22nd, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream, where you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me there. You can find links to download our podcast. You can also find our social media links, and you can also buy me a coffee. The Buy Me a Coffee money goes toward helping us build our classic radio collection, and you've helped us acquire a number of great shows. And we really appreciate it. We really, really do. That's at classicradio.stream. Classicradio.stream. Thank this station and support their advertisers, would you please? But most importantly, tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this very spot on the radio dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.